Hi SparkHire readers, Nicole here, your content editor at SparkHire, and welcome to another vlog on our human resource blog on SparkHire. So for our vlog today, I want to talk about the interview questions employers can ask in a one-way video interview. So if you're not familiar with one-way video interviews, you definitely should be because they're a great way for hiring managers and employers to save time and to stay organized in the screening process. Normally and traditionally, hiring managers would find qualified candidates, review their resumes, and give them a call and complete a phone screen. What one-way video interviews do is replace that phone screen. Oftentimes a phone screen on average takes 30 minutes to complete, and you may even know within the first 5 minutes that you don't want to go any further with this job seeker, yet you continue the conversation to be polite, or maybe you just don't know how to cut off a conversation and say, well, I have to move on because you're not qualified. In fact, employers can complete 10 one-way video interviews in the same time it takes them to complete one phone interview. So as you can see, it's a great way to save time. What one-way video interviews are, what employers do, they send a series of questions to job seekers, and job seekers then answer those questions in video format. You set a deadline for them to complete those one-way video interviews, and you get a chance to review them when you have the time. This kind of saves a lot of time for the hiring managers, and it's also a great way to compare candidates. And you get your answers, but you also get a better look into this candidate's personality and their communication skills as well. So they're definitely beneficial. So what kind of questions can you ask in a one-way video interview? Generally, they're going to be the same kind of questions that you ask in a phone interview, and they're questions aimed at getting a better understanding for this job seeker and any kind of screening process questions. So for one of the questions you want to ask, it's, what do you know about our company? Um, Obviously, you want to know that this job seeker took time to research your company and that they have at least a little idea of what you guys do. Since they have time to ask or to answer these questions, they should give you good answers and give you specific details that are easily accessible from your website or your social media feeds. This can definitely be a great way to weed out bad candidates. Another great question, it's, why are you interested in this job? This is obviously another screening process. You want to know what piqued this job seeker's interest and what they like about your company right off the bat, from what they can see online or from your company website. So definitely ask that question. What do you look for in a job? This is another great question to ask in a one-way video interview, and it's a great way to kind of understand what this job seeker expects out of this position and what they want out of this position. If what they expect or what they look for in a job is part of this job position, it might be a great fit. If they expect things that are completely opposite of what this job position entails, then it might be a sign that you want to move on to the next job seeker. Another great question to ask is, what are some of your strengths? This is obviously a staple question in terms of job interviews, and you might not even want to ask this question in a job interview anymore, but it's a good question to ask in the screening process and obviously for a one-way video interview. It's easy for job seekers to talk about their strengths, and you definitely want to know what this job seeker thinks is their best quality as a worker. Lastly, you want to ask why they're leaving their last job or why they're trying to leave their current job. This is also a staple question, but it can give you great insight into what this job seeker is doing. Are they trying to advance their career? Are they looking for something different? Are they switching careers? And also, you want to see how this job seeker responds to this question in terms of negativity. If they answer the question and say, well, my current position is terrible, or I hate the company I work for, or I left my last job because my boss was just terrible, I couldn't manage it. That definitely gives you some insight into this job seeker, and that's probably a job seeker you want to pass up. On our job seeker blog, job seekers are often told never to speak negatively of their past or current position. Even though they may have the worst job in the world, they want to focus on the good parts of that job, and they don't want to talk about their company or their previous company negatively, because what that shows you is this job seeker clearly doesn't care about perception, and what's going to stop them from speaking negatively about your company should they leave your company soon, or if they're going to leave ever. You definitely don't want somebody out there that's going to be speaking negatively about your company, even if it wasn't the best experience for them. A good job seeker will say, I'm looking for a new position, to advance my skills. I'm looking to advance my career. But a good job seeker will never say, I'm looking for a new position because my company sucks. So definitely take stock of these interview questions that you can ask in a one-way video interview, and definitely come up with a couple of your own. But a one-way video interview is a great tool to use in the screening process, and you should definitely acquaint yourself with the technology that we have here on SparkHire. Thanks for tuning in to another vlog here on our Human Resource blog. Remember to check back in on our Human Resource blog at hr.sparkhire.com, and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for fresh HR content every day straight to your social media feeds.